Most ad platforms give you data, but they don't tell you what to do with it. You end up scrolling, filtering, exporting the spreadsheets, arguing about what's working and what isn't, and you still don't actually know the direction your creative should go next. Atria fixes that by making the performance signals obvious. You open the dashboard and the story is just there. What's working, what's not, and what's worth exploring more. All surfaced instantly. So let me show you how to use it. First, let's check out the radar functionality. To get started, click on the Analytics tab on the left, click on your ad account, and then click on Radar on the top. Here, you'll have all of your ads evaluated and categorized into separate tabs for you to easily access and know what to do to them next. In the first tab, we will be presented with winners. So these are all ads that we should be focusing on scaling and cloning because we know they are the top performers. These are all ads that have scored higher than A on overall grade. So we know that they have high conversion, good hook, good retention, good CTR, and good return of ad spend. If you want to see any additional info that matters to you, you can also click on the custom columns up top here, click on the customized table columns, and add anything extra that you might need. Then you can click confirm, and you can also save it as a preset so that you don't have to do this every time. You can just click here and go to your specific preset. In the next step, we have high iteration potential. So these are all ads that are not winners yet, but they're showing very good signals. If you want to, we can also sort these ads, for example, by grade, so that we can quickly see the ads that we should be focusing on iterating. The ads here in the high iteration potential will be the ones you would want to focus on first. The recommendation for both of these would be to iterate, to improve them, to try to turn them into winners. And obviously for winners, the recommendation is to scale because we know these ads are already doing well. Now, it doesn't just end here. You could also hover over the recommendation and then click on the AI recommendation button here, and you'll be given even more data. On the top, we have an overview of our performance. It will tell you what this ad is doing well and where it's struggling. Below, we'll be able to see persona, so who this ad is actually targeting, and the top issues identified. For example, this one has very low click-through rate, so we need to focus on improving that, as well as a lack of clear proposition. Down below, we'll also be given recommendations on how exactly we can fix that. Now let's click on an image ad instead. The previous one was a video ad. For image ad, same here, we'll be given performance, insights, as well as top issues identified, etc. However, for the image ads, we could actually iterate them within Atria itself. We can click on the iterate ads button here, enter our brief URL or enter it manually. I'm just going to enter it manually. Then I'm going to add some product images, change the brand color here. I can choose the ratio, the batch size, and then click generate. Atria will now start generating iterations for our ads right here. It will do that based on analysis and the performance of our previous ad. And this is the magic of the radar functionality. All of your ads are categorized into separate tabs here so that you know exactly what to do to them next. You know what your winners are that you should be scaling today. You know why they're performing well based on all of the data that Atria shows you, and you know which ads have good potential that you should be iterating on and how they could be improved. No more spending hours in the ads manager just digging for data, trying to find out what to do next. Instead, everything is given to you here on a golden platter, making it much more straightforward to scale your ads and removing any kind of guesswork. Now let's head over to the actual analytics tab and back to our account. On the top, we'll see our radar spotted opportunities. So that's the same things that I was showing you in the radar previously. And if we scroll down a little bit further, we will see our key metrics. Here we will be presented the metrics that matter most to us. So these are the key metrics that we would be keeping an eye on. So in just a few seconds, we can see exactly how we're doing in a specific date range that we care about. Because on the top, we can also switch that. For example, I want to see exactly how we're performing this week. I can see our spend is a little bit lower, so we have a little bit less purchases, lower CPA, but the other metrics are looking really healthy. We have higher cost per click, higher return of ad spend, higher AOV, higher purchase value, etc. In just a few seconds, we can see exactly where the trend that our ads is going. You can do 1 year, 90 days, 60 days, as well as custom. I'll set it back to 14 days, and this is also fully customizable. If you click on the metric settings here, we can add any extra metrics that we would like to see or remove the ones that we are not so interested in. Now, if we scroll down a little bit further, here we will see the breakdowns so that we can actually see the performance of our ads categorized by format, age and gender, or platform. Here we could choose what we want the breakdowns to be by. For example, let's choose clicks. And in just a second, we could see the breakdown of exactly where we're getting our clicks from. For example, we could see that mixed media is doing best for clicks specifically. Then we could see the best age and genders for it. So it's mostly women between 18 to 35 as well as 65. And we could see that these, for example, age groups are not doing so well. And on the right here, we could see the platforms that are performing best as well. Oculus ads and particularly WhatsApp desktop is not doing so well for clicks. So here we could quickly make decisions and actually cut out these platforms and focus on Facebook, Instagram, and Messenger instead. Breakdowns make it really easy to see where the performance is actually coming from, and it helps you avoid wasting money on wrong placement or different formats. It allows you to find out what your audience actually responds to, not what you assumed they will respond to. For example, if you know that clicks is our main focus and we see that we're barely getting clicks from carousels and collections, we might as well cut these out and focus on images as well as mixed media. Next down, we've got the creative tags. These are all AI generated based on your ads and allows you to have an overview of what kind of content is doing best without having to manually categorize all of the different ads that you're running. Once again, you can adjust this by different metrics. So let's say we want to see where we're getting the most impressions. We can click on that and the AI will analyze it. We could see that we're getting most of our impressions from showcase themes as well as problem and solutions and the before and afters. So once again, we know the exact themes we might want to focus on for our next themes. And then next, we can also see the best angles. For example, coffee experience is the one driving the most impressions, as well as daily routine and the visual appeal. Now I filtered it by return on ad spend. We could see that most of the themes are doing quite similar, but we have a huge difference in ad angles as well as emotions. Our motivation boost ad angles work absolutely the best, and the emotions that perform best are determination. So when we're making ads, we'll know that we would want to focus on this specific angle and this specific emotion. And we've got this information in literally 2 clicks. Now this will probably be one of the features you'll be using most, because getting this data yourself will be absolutely painful. You'll have to download multiple spreadsheets, manually filter all of the ads, and then go through all of them, tagging them yourself. Atria does it all for you. So in literally just a few clicks, you can see the main themes, the main ad angles, and the main emotions that actually drive results for you. This way you can focus, this way you know exactly where your focus should be and the things that actually work for your specific brand. No wasted time, no second guessing. All of the data is right in front of you. You could also see the specific ad here by clicking on the tagged on one creatives here and then go to the specific ad itself. This way we could go to it, make more iterations and start running these ads as soon as possible. Now lastly, we've got the top spend as well as top performing. Here we can quickly see which ads are actually carrying our accounts. Here we will see all of our top spenders aligned to their purchases or other metrics that might be important to you. We can quickly spot any outliers. For example, this one here is getting a lot of purchases, but it's actually much lower on spend than other top spenders. So we would know that this is an ad that we want to recreate. So to this, we have a quick overview of where we're spending most of our money and what's actually getting us the most sales. This one is very similar, but it's flipped. So here, for example, we can see this one is top purchases and much lower spend than the other top. And then maybe this one as well. A lot of purchases, but relatively lower spend. In the top performing, you could also filter by creatives. Here we can see which ones had the highest return of ad spend relative to their spend and purchases. For example, this one we could clearly see drove us a lot of purchases, but it also had a higher spend and relatively not that high of a return of ad spend. And here we can even filter by video hooks. Click here and filter ads by which hooks did best. So we can see this one here, for example, had the highest thumb stop. Then we can click on the ad and actually watch it back to analyze why it did so good. But this is pretty much it for the overview tab. Now let me show you a few extra special features. Here on the left, if you go to system reports, we could see all of the different reports that have been generated for us. For example, let's click on top performing ads. This will take us right to the report where we can see all of our top performance with all of the other metrics that we might need. We could easily customize this report by date range, filters, for example, let's say over $300. Then we can add an additional metric, let's say a return of ad spend. And down below, if you want to, we can also customize the columns, show the ad status to make sure we're seeing the active ones and even the tags. Here, you can copy the chart, you can download it, or you could batch download their creatives themselves to send it to any of your other team members. You can also click on the button here to share it so that you can send it as a link for somebody else to see. Now, these system reports can save you a lot of time. Any kind of comment report that you might need will already be generated for you. Now, if any of the system reports don't show what you need and you want to build a report from scratch without actually modifying the system reports here, you can head over to this custom reports here, click on the plus button, and that will generate a new report for you from scratch. You can give it a name and then have a go at it. Customize it as much as you want to show exactly what you need. It's exactly the same as the system report. You can filter by date range, groups. You can choose what you want to group by, dimension filters, metric filters, add any metrics that you need here, and customize the columns as well. With Atria, you have full control over your data, and it makes it rapid and absolutely effortless to compare all of the different ads and all of the different metrics the way that you want to. No more downloading multiple Google Sheets and stitching them together into Frankenstein just to decide what ads you need to make next. Atria doesn't try to tell you what your brand should be. It shows you the performance signals clearly, so your creative direction comes from reality, not guesswork. And if you want your creative workflow to be data guided instead of opinion guided, plug your account into Atria and start the radar view. The moment you see your creative tags and high potential signals, everything clicks.